full time, and it's finished at Liberty Stadium. Swansea City 2, Watford 1. Oh, it's another one of those frustrating away days, and it has to be said, our poor away form continues. And it's a first taste of defeat for Xisco Munoz in our first game of 2021. Oh, dearie me. Goals 2 from Jamal Lowe and 1, an absolute stormer, from Tom Cleverley were the goals in the match. And let's start off with that first half. So to begin with, Corey Smith, we're giving him way too much time, and basically he nearly stretches and scores because it's a ball across by Roberts, and I don't know how this happened, but literally it went across the whole box. There was no one that touched it, so very, very lucky there. A matter of inches from that being the opening goal of the game. So it's a bit of a shaky start from us, it's got to be said. I thought we would come fast out the blocks, get an early goal, but it didn't come. And I thought that generally our man of the match today was Andre Gray, because he was working hard for the team, and I think he was unlucky in the fact that Deeney wasn't really on the same wavelength as him today. And if they'd have had a better connection, then Gray's definitely scoring a goal. And he was so unlucky to not score that close chance that I'll just talk about in a second. So, yeah, he's my man of the match in a game that is quite frustrating for many reasons. The fact that, we took too long to get going, and we really didn't get going that second half. And then it just was a matter of Swansea keeping the ball and frustrating us. But in terms of the first half, we didn't really start amazingly, and then there was a little bit of dominance. So we were looking quite nervy defensively and having to hoof it away. And at times in the first half, we were hoofing it forward. And that's why I said about Gray and Deeney struggling in terms of their link-up. But it was really amazing work for a chance from us, because Ben Wilmot, he chased it down, and just really, really good work ethic to win the ball back and then whip in a beautiful cross. And it's gotta say, it's a great chance for Andre Gray, but it was one of those ones, maybe it was just a bit too close to the goalkeeper, but it was well saved, and the Gray chance was unfortunately smothered. But then, Swansea, they've very got good full quality on that crossing, and it was a ball in from Manning that really Roberts got to, Roberts and Ayew were the ones lining up, but actually it was Ayew that headed it over. They kind of got in each other's way, so that was another fortunate let-off. We got back into the game, though, as I said. We showed a bit of control, bit of sustained possession, and a few chances around the 20-minute mark. So we started really getting into the game and looked the better team. And then we got the goal because of that, fortunately. But it was a lovely goal, wasn't it? Little hard-working play there from Andre Gray, the layoff, and then an absolute stormer from Tom Cleverley. He drilled it home. One of those ones skidding across the grass, and a great strike to put us in the lead. And he doesn't get many, Cleverley, but he gets his third of the season. And then you're thinking, all right, now we've got to build on that and really take our chances. But Swansea got a few half chances. There was the one where Fulton had a shot and it was inches wide, just curled it past the post. And then, of course, a great save by Foster. Really strong shot from Ayew, and he tipped it over the bar. Deeney was quite quiet in the game, as I said, not much link up with Gray, but towards the end of that second half, really good save from Foster, great reaction save, because the Swansea man was right by him, and unfortunately Swansea got their equaliser through Jamal Lowe. He's always their most threatening player, it's got to be said. He's just so fast on the break, and he just hit it very, very well, in off the post. Foster will be a bit frustrated by that, because he kind of saw it coming and just couldn't quite stretch out to it. And to make matters worse, Jamal Lowe goes over to the GoPro and rubs Foster's nose in it, really. So that's a shame. But Ben needs to cut that one out of the footage if he can. But no, really, it was really a kick in the teeth to not be going in ahead. But at the end of the day, we contested well in that first half. It was just a matter of, scoring more goals than the opposition. But then, of course, we go into this second half and you're thinking, come on now, this is it. But Swansea getting a very early goal, and they were fast out of the traps, really, and they scored a goal through Andre Ayew, or was it for Andre Ayew? Maybe it was from another man, but anyway, Ayew was offside, and I think it was another defender that scored, but the goal was disallowed, so that was possibly a stroke of luck. But at times we were taking a long time, and with Watford, we just weren't getting going that second half. It's as simple as that. Just far too sloppy, making mistakes, and it's always a case with us. We really don't show consistency throughout 90 minutes. First half, pretty good, nice goal from Cleverley, and you've got something to build on. Second half, we just looked really tired and not really up for it, giving away the ball, and then of course Jamal Lowe gets his second goal of the game, and it's really, really poor defending. We only have ourselves to blame, but you can't be letting Corey Smith have that much space on that right-hand side. Far too much respect shown to him, and far too much space. But it is a good cross, to be fair to him. He whips it into a really dangerous area, but you've got to question Foster. Does he come out like that? He's probably got his positioning a little bit wrong there. Should be a bit more central, but he's quite near his right-hand post, so he's having to come out, and he's kind of not quite covering the whole goal. And he's flapped for it, unfortunately. He was doing his best, and it was a tough, like I said, a tough cross to deal with. But Jamal Lowe gets the header, flying at it, past that post for Foster. So, yeah, I'm sorry that the screen is frozen, but that's just a technical difficulty. And finally, a great chance for Troy Deeney, the captain. Great cross by Sema, and it was volleyed over. Very, very annoying, because Troy should be getting that on target. And then Swansea just took their time from the corners. They just kept the ball, and really, it was just unfortunate, really. Our wretched form continues away from home, and yeah, it was just one of those games. But it is what it is. We move on to the next game. We've got a Man United game in the Cup, and then we've got an interesting matchup. So, you warns, but we go back to Hertfordshire pointless after an unfortunate game, it's got to be said.